Today's horoscope from Astrocademy, Sagittarius June 18, 2022. There can be something both exciting and uncomfortable about a matter early today, and you're inclined to want to take quick action so that you can get over a hump. You can be highly motivated to write, create, or work on a pet project, for example. Taking a creative or emotional risk may be a drive, but it can also be something you've recently been avoiding or anxious about. Inspiration or even frustration can push you to want to resolve a long-standing problem. You find yourself in situations that motivate you to chase what makes your heart happy instead of mainly focusing on helping others find their joy, which is something you've been doing a lot of recently. Today, you may be especially interested in clearing obstacles or blocks in the way of this pursuit. You might learn more about yourself and your vulnerabilities through social or romantic interactions. As the day advances, practical news, tidbits, and advice can circulate, and you feel on top of things. Your feet are on the ground, and this is an empowering feeling. You like to know where you stand in most situations. Either you are in command, or you have ways of showing your disapproval. With today's planetary configuration, everything seems a little confused, like shadows in the night. You cannot second-guess what your loved one is thinking, and you will just need to be patient and wait until you get a clearer perspective. You could be in an expansive mood today, looking at your life in a philosophical way. You will be ready to forgive people who may have disappointed you. You will feel more detached from people at work who might be annoying you right now. Overall, you will realize that your life is proceeding on a good course, and any obstacles that you are dealing with are challenges, not emergencies. Because your tendency recently has been to brood over everything, a day like today cannot be anything but beneficial. It has been difficult for you to find material satisfaction lately, but today offers you a view into the world of the intangible and unreal. You may find it especially gratifying to participate in an artistic or religious activity. Not everything in your private life is running as well as you would like. Friends and family have their own wishes and goals and are not bound to show consideration to you. Even though it's tough, accept that some situations will not run according to plan. Try to change your perspective and understand others' points of view. This is the best strategy at present. Looking for love? It's looking for you. One way or another you're going to spark some serious, well, more fun than serious, romance as you make your way through the day. If you are longing for love and the feeling of security this brings, don't always pursue it with such vigor or be overly concerned if a love you want isn't always available. You can get what you want by taking your time, being a little more relaxed and calm. A brand new outlook brings with it the promise of success. See about getting as active as possible today. This could really give your overall health a boost, especially if you've been rather sedentary. Try something fun like some sports or take a pooch for a walk. Cutting the lawn or gardening are other activities that are better than sitting all day. The physical movement can reduce stress and leave you feeling a sense of accomplishment. Every part of you benefits from getting active. Check it out. The energy from this day's vibration will increase your desire to be helpful. While this is not apt to be anything new for you, you might find that your desires are much more geared toward people you are close to in your personal life. Don't be surprised if it's someone in the least likely of places either, such as an ex-spouse or distant friend. Follow your heart and do what you think is best for the greatest results. Thanks to the moon, the impact from a friendly aspect between the Sun on the relationship and Saturn on the communication front will not only extend into the weekend, but you will find it even easier to keep the communication lines open. While for the moon this is an ordinary monthly visit to your communication sector, it finds itself in the right place at the right time, able to harness something that is much bigger, more powerful, and can have long-term implications. This comes just as Venus is harnessing the moon's transit through your income sector over the last few days as she works to steer job matters in a lucrative direction. While a friendly aspect between the Sun on the relationship and Saturn on the communication front is separating, having the moon in your communication sector and Mercury, the planet of communication in your relationship sector, is continuing what this started. After a full moon earlier in the week, any wake-up calls this brought are already turning into opportunities. Our eyes in the sky. With the moon in spontaneous, expansive and adventurous Aquarius, you're ready to stay out all night and party the hours away, but deep down somewhere you know that operating in non-stop entertainment mode has to come to an end at some point, and that point should probably be well before dawn if you have anything productive to do in the morning. Right? At the same time, we see a T-square forming between the Moon, Sun and Neptune in mutable signs, creating adaptability and a drive to submerge yourself in whatever's going on around you. While these can be very positive things, you'll have to be careful not to get too caught up in just going with the flow, bruh. This is classic, if your friends jumped off a bridge, would you jump too? Energy that the universe is throwing your way. Being too flexible and pliable, aka playable, can lead to trouble, especially in combination with the fiery Sag full moon. Your communication skills and mental clarity could take a small hit when the moon forms an unbalanced aspect to Mercury later in the afternoon. If you've been working hard all day, now would be a good time to take a break and indulge in a healthy snack. As evening falls, you'll likely be in the mood for adventure and socialization. If you can swing it, try to make some plans to meet your best pals for dinner, and be sure to try out a place you've never been to before. In the pre-dawn hours, Mercury in Cancer forms a sextile to Uranus in Taurus, expanding our minds. This transit allows us to have dynamic conversations which broaden our awareness without causing controversy. Discussions may center around concepts of radical care and compassion, or how to foster empathy. We tend to assume that caring for others means to hold space for their comfort, which is not entirely inaccurate. However, there comes a time when comfort becomes coddling, which hinders one's ability to evolve and thrive. It is currently valuable to push others a bit outside of their conceptual comfort zones, and we expect the same treatment in return. In this way, self-discovery becomes the mechanism for engagement in the wider world. After sunup, the moon sextiles Saturn in Aquarius. While we might typically jump into a new adventure without much forethought under the optimistic Aquarius moon, Saturn provides patience and aids us in planning an agenda we can be confident in. Resultingly, our enthusiasm for the moment stays intact, but we can also get the logistical basics in order and ensure we have the necessary supplies. Whether we are prepping for a project or a trip, or planning long-term future goals, this transit will get our feet firmly planted on the ground so we can innovate with confidence without losing our critical sense of idealism.